Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope all of you are fine. I wanted to kind of continue from where we left off, and I've been getting a lot of questions on my previous video on what if I have a spouse, what if I have income, because my previous video was only if you had zero income. In this case, now we'll become, covering a bit more scenarios on what if you have a spouse, what if they are working, what if you yourself were working before coming to Canada, and XYZ. So let's dive straight into it, and I'll show you a real life scenario of one of my clients who got a notice for this year, and I'll give you a bit of background. So on the right is basically this is a helper template, and on the left is the actual template that you'll get access to, which is in the video description link below. But first, it's very important to understand, what the notice is about, what is CRA asking, and just see what fits according to your personal situation. So I'll dive straight into it. So first is the background of the client. Okay, so she's a student, she's married, she has a child. The child lives with the student or the mother in Canada. She did not earn anything in 2023, but now the husband is in India. The husband has never come to Canada, and the husband is employed in India. So Uh, so she filed her taxes last year, and now the CRA has come to her with like three notices, and these are pretty much the standard notices depending on which province you are. So I'll go to her CRA account. So once you're in your CRA account, you can also, like, if you've got it, just go to your mail section. Once you get full access, just go on the left, click on mail, and you'll see like these three notices. In this case, she has four. CCB is basically childcare benefit, wherein here she has a child and the child lives with the mother. That's why she's also eligible for an extra benefit. But as of right now, we'll be just talking about OTB, GST, and Canada Carbon Rebate, and I'll quickly open the notices to show you what it is. Also, yeah, one, two, and three. These three are in air quotes, what people commonly refer to as Welcome to Canada. But yeah, there's a big myth surrounding this. I'll put this link also in the description. Like, this is actually an Indian accountant just called it Welcome to Canada for simplicity between students, but it's not only if you come to Canada you get it. It's basically low income earners get this benefit, irrespective of how many years they have been in Canada, right? So it says here that the reason the newcomers are eligible for federal and provincial sales tax, trillium benefit, etc., which can be claimed by filing a return. You don't need to file a return. You can also claim it on the side. Like, there is a whole different process. You can, like, read it up here. I'll put all of these links in the description. There is another form which you have to send the CRA. But again, like, it's easier for accountants to do, or even if you're filing taxes yourself, to do it at the time of filing taxes, because the application goes in together. So you don't have to like submit different applications. It's with your tax return, and you can submit it together. So this is the GST HST, this is your Canada carbon rebate. And when you go into the provincial, depending on what province you are, you can see, different benefits. So I'll just click on Ontario to quickly show you. So it shows you your trillium benefit, it shows you property tax credit benefit. You can go through like what they mean. Then northern, if you're in the northern part of Ontario, there are other additional benefits, blah blah blah. So yeah, just you can just go through this. Like, I'll attach all the links in the description, and depending on what province you are, you can see what you're eligible for. So okay, let's get back to the video. Based so based on what we have in the CRA email, in the CRA mail, I'll show you the notices really quickly, which is similar to what you might have got if you're filing your returns for the first time. So it says the CRA cannot calculate the amount of OTEPC, and what is the reason? One, it needs your world income, it needs a confirmation, blah blah blah, partner details, it needs a status change date, etc., etc. And if you look at all the three, all the other two also, so I'll look at GST, HST, it's also going to say the same thing. You need your world income converted into Canadian dollars, confirmation, blah, blah, blah. It needs to know your spouse's details. I've actually copied and pasted the three notices so that you have an idea of what they're asking. It's the same thing that they're asking basically, and I've copied and pasted it over here, the helper template, so that we can see, and we'll go through each of these points. The way I've highlighted it is the blue is what CRA has asked, and the gray is what documents you need as supporting. So another question I get is, while responding to this, do we need to attach the documents? My answer is, as of right now, if you look at the notices, the CRA has just asked you for information. They've just said that we need the following information. They haven't asked for documents explicitly. So my suggestion at this point in time is just submit this letter. If they have any further questions, then that's when you can submit all of these documents. But keep the documents handy just in case that the letter is not enough and then they ask you for additional documents, you can submit it to them. The only reason is because if you submit, like, 10 to 15 documents, your file is longer. It's like 20 to 30 pages for them to go through. They might take additional time for them to process. So if you just write it down, they can use the information as is. But if they have any questions, then they can come back to you like later on. So I'll go through each line by line on what they want. So first is they want your world income converted into Canadian dollars, and we will go back to this case, right? So if you have world income converted into Canadian dollars, in her case, she did not have any income because she was not working. So the way I've broken down this form is it's four categories that you can choose with: one, two, three, four. Okay. So the first is like if you have zero income, and if this is not applicable to you, just delete the section. Say you have reportable income. We'll go in the next section on seeing how we can calculate reportable income, but we'll stick to this example. So say zero income, in this case it's applicable. So I would fill out my name, I'd fill out my sin, I would fill out my tax year, I would fill out what notice it is. In this case, it's the three notices: GST, HST, OTB, and CAIP. CAIP was the old name. It's now Canada Carbon Rebate. So you can keep both the name. I've kept both the names in case depending on what tax year you're filing. And in this case, it's zero income. So I will say what I've said is, before coming to Canada, I was not employed in India. In your case, whatever country is applicable, just change that. And I did not have any income from 1st January to the landing date, and hence my income was zero. So this answers the first question. I'll also show you like where I've said, see example on how to calculate the income. I'll go through it in the husband section, and you can also use that for if you have income before coming to Canada, you can use the same logic on computing income. Second, confirmation by you and your spouse, common law, of your marital status and the date of change of and the date of change, as well as your spouse's common law's name, social insurance number, etc. So what they want is a confirmation of your date of marital status. So the first section is yours, the first two, wherein if you have income, or if you don't have income, or if you have income. Now the second is your spouse. So in case you're single and you have no income, then you will delete all the other three sections because this is not applicable to you, and then just submit as is. In this case, now her husband, there is a spouse. So we are going into the second section, and I've broken down into two. So if you're a resident or if you're a non-resident, in this case, the husband is in India, they are a non-resident. So we'll update this section. So my spouse is a non-resident for Canadian tax purposes. He is in India or whatever country you want to update, you can update, and has never been to Canada yet. Being a non-resident, he does not have a sin. So we've answered your, the marital status date change is over here. It's on the top. So you can also like, pick and choose from whatever is applicable. So I'll just add this as well so that you have the marital status, date change status, and everything. So I'll put this in. Their full name is this. I'll copy this. I'll put it down. So depending on what you want, how your situation changes, you can use the template as it is, right? I have kind of listed out all the different permutations and combinations. You can use whatever is applicable to you. So in this case, I have said my marital status date change is this. Update your date of marriage. The full name of the spouse is this. My spouse is a non-resident, he is in India and has never been, and then therefore he's a non-resident and does not have a sin. So okay, we answered this question. The name of the partner, what is the name of your partner, what is the sin, etc., and what are the documents that you need. You need your marriage certificate, so keep it. Keep your sin number of your spouse if they have a sin. If they don't have a sin, then yeah, you can just say that they don't have a sin. Now, the next thing is the CRA needs to know your spouse's income or common law partner's income in 2023. So this is a slightly detailed calculation of how to calculate your income. So make sure that you kind of go through it in detail. I'll go through it in a bit. And what you need is your tax return copy of the country that is in question and their date of entry. So whatever date they have entered. So in this case, I have put it up here if they're a resident. So the marital status change date is here. The date of landing is here. Their sin is here. And what are the documents that you need for date of entry is your study permit, work permit, COPR, or a passport stamping page, and how much world income. So this is now the example. So in this case, I have put down a number 5061. And how do I come to this number? This is important, and I'll show you through an Excel file. We'll go through like a quick example of how this number was calculated. So say 18th July 2023 is date of landing. Okay. Of landing. Now, what happens in India is your financial year is from April to March. So in this case, what Canada wants is, what the Canadian government or CRA wants is your income from January to July. So the date from 1st Jan, because we file taxes from January to December. So what they're looking is from 1st Jan to 17 July. In this case, because you have April 2022 to March 2023, that's your first tax year, and the second is April 2023 to March 2024. So what's happening is your this period is from Jan to July 2023 is falling in these two periods. And how? So I'll show you how. So say, for example, in this tax year, you've made 8 lakh or 800,000 rupees. In the second tax year, you made 375,000 or 3,75,000 rupees. Now, in this tax year, in the first tax year, you're only looking at 3 months. So that's January, February, and March. So I've put down the days. So January 31 days, February 28 days, March 31 days. And in the second tax year, you're looking at April to July. So that's how many days we have it over here. So April 30 days, March 31 days, May 31 days, June 30 days, and 18 days of, I've even counted the landing date. But if you want, you can like reduce it to 17, but it's just one day, it won't make a big difference. And this is how we will prorate the income. So what are we doing is we are taking 90 days divided by 365, which is the full days of the year, multiply it by 8 lakhs. So this is about 1/4 of 8 lakhs or 800,000. It should be roughly around 2 lakhs or 200,000. Yeah, which is about 197, which makes sense. Same with this, the 375 is divided by 109 divided by 365 multiplied by 375,000 or 375,000, you get a proportionate number, and that's your total salary that you've earned in your foreign currency, um, before landing. And then you have to convert this into the average exchange rate. So from where will you get the average exchange rate? So go to Bank of Canada website, just type Bank of Canada exchange rate, click over here, exchange rate Bank of Canada, then click on daily exchange rates. So what I'm doing is I'll take the average exchange rate from the period that I want. So first I'll select the currency. I'll say Indian rupee. Then I'll select a custom date range. So from 1st 2023, 1st January to 2023, July, I'll take 17th or 18th, just one day won't make a difference. And then I'll click on submit. And then I look at the average. So the average is saying 61.07 or 61.1, just to round it off. So 61.1, I've taken the average exchange rate over here, and then I've divided the 310,000 roughly by 61. That gives me $5061. Converted into, these are Canadian dollars, which were first rupees, and it's like 5061 Canadian dollars, which I will put it over here. So the spouse had a worldwide income in this case of $5061, 309,246 divided by 61. The CRA is not looking for calculations as of this point. They just want the information. So you can help them out with the information directly by giving them the number. But if they ask you in future of how you came up with this number, so just save this Excel working and you can attach it in future if they want to see it. So again, let's do another similar example for, say, a person was in the US and he came down, and the landing date in this case also was same. The landing date was same, but the person only made money from January to June. They left their job in June and now they here permanently. They made 15,000 USD. We're assuming that they made 15,000 USD, and from Jan to June 2023 is what we'll include. In this case, we are not doing any proration because they are not, like, they don't have different financial years. They have the same financial year as Canada, Jan to December. So what we are doing is we'll just take the average exchange rate. So I'll go back to the website, I'll click on new lookup, then I'll click on the currency, US dollar, click custom date range. I'll click on 2023, 1st Jan to the person left. We're assuming in this case on 30th June. So let's see the average dollar conversion. It's 0.739, or let's take 0.75 just to round it off and to be simple. So I'll put 0.75. Let's see the DIV. Okay, in this case, it's they not USD. This should be CAD. Just change it to CAD. So they've earned 15,000 USD, which translates to 20,000 Canadian. And this is the Canadian equivalent, which we will put down over here. If the person was earning in USD, and then what's the equivalent Canadian amount. So that's what I've put over here, which is converted to Canadian dollars, approximately of 5061 dollars. So yeah, this is pretty simple. Once you have everything, then you can, like, just see whatever situation is basically applicable for you. If your spouse is over here, if your spouse is not here, you can tweak the letter. But this is like encompassing of everything, of all possible scenarios, whatever I've thought with, whatever easy scenarios I've thought with. If you still have questions, you can always email me. I've put my email in the description. But yeah, this should kind of help. So I hope this helps you. And yeah, and further, I've also gone through, like, how do we upload the documents in the CRA account. So yeah, so let me just let me just pause over here, and I hope you've learned something today. Thank you. The document, so I'll show you how to upload. So go back to overview over here, go back to submit documents over here. Okay, you see there are already two documents that she has uploaded. This is in the past for birth certificate of her child, and this is her CCB application. So now what we are trying to do is we are submitting the worldwide income application. You go to submit documents, click on start, click on no, there is no case reference number over here. Click on topic, click on benefits and credits, click on GST, send documents to support my child and family benefits, CCB, GST, blah, blah, blah. click on next. Now I have set out an attachment in my downloads folder. I've already marked it. So I'll go to browse. Go to template before landing final. Say okay. Hello. Here is the detailed response with regards to me and my spouse's worldwide income before landing. Please let me know if you need any further documents to process the claim. Thank you. Okay. Just doing some autocorrect. Worldwide is one word, I guess. Okay. Once, please. Okay, so Grammarly has done all the corrections for me. I don't even have to type. It's good. But yeah, just this is a very short cover letter of what we're uploading. And then this is thank you. And then here I'm saying upload files. I'm going. So this is my template. It says okay. I'll just double check if everything is correct on another screen. Just give me a quick second. Want to make sure nothing is missed out. Okay, this is my landing date. I've mentioned everything. Marital date state changes. I do not have a SIN. Okay, that's fine. All right, I have everything uploaded. I'm going to click on next. And this says a reason. Yeah, all good. And I'm going to click on submit. So I have a confirmation number here, and I can also go back to my submission history where it's going to show me everything over here. So it says, okay, this one's still in pending. It'll change to receive the moment the CRA receives it, and then they will start processing it. And then obviously the next follow-up question is, when will I get the payout? So your payout usually is at quarter end. So every quarter end, it's the next month of the quarter end. So for March, you'll be paid out in April. For June, you'll be paid out in July. For September, October. And for December, for the quarter ending December, you'll be paid in January. Right now, as I'm uploading, the date is July. So I am in this time frame because June, the last payout has already been gone. So now the next quarter end is September, and then by the time it will be paid out is October. So yeah, I would recommend just wait until October. Don't keep calling the CRA because they're already like super busy and super, they have a lot of backlog on them, on their heads. If you call them, they will just tell you like to wait because they pay out everyone in the quarter end. So there's no point of you calling and asking them again and again on like, hey, when will I be receiving? It is based on the quarter end. So just wait for the quarter. If you don't see anything by next quarter, then maybe you can call them. But yeah, they already are backlogged, so they'll just tell you to wait. And again, the wait times are like 3 to 4 hours. So if you have the time, yeah, you can call them. But I would recommend just wait until next quarter. And don't worry, you're not going to lose out any of the previous money. You'll get all of them at once in October. So yeah, anyways, you're covered. And how will you know once your benefits are processed? So I can show you an example of how a completed benefit application looks like. So let me go back, return to overview. Let me go to another client. Just give me a quick second. I'm just looking up some details on another screen. Give me a quick second. Okay, it's loading. Just a second. Okay, I do see it now. Okay, you see your benefits and credit section. Here it shows you, okay, when is your next payment? So it shows you October, Canada carbon rebate, GST, HST, Ontario Trillium benefit. So you see most of them are in October. For Ontario Trillium benefit, you're paid out monthly, but most of the benefits are in October. So once your benefits are processed, you can go into benefit and credit section. It'll show you all of your benefits and what date are you receiving it. So go to statement of account for each of your three benefits. So I'll go to statement of account, and it shows you, okay, all of the amounts have been paid for July 2024, April 2024, Jan 2024. This was in November last year. So yeah, this client was paid out. Same for Canada carbon rebate. I can go into statement of account and check. So it gives you all the amounts that have been paid. And here you see when I was saying that you'll be paid if you've missed any of the payments. So you see April, July, October, the CRA has paid out all the three benefits at once. So they've been paid out like 378 at one time instead of 122 per quarter. So don't worry, even if it's late, the CRA will catch up and pay you all your due benefits. So you don't have to worry. Same with Ontario Trillium benefit, statement of account. You can see all of it over here. So it was $28 for them, and they got paid in November. They got paid the monthly amount, all of it at once in as of December. So yeah, the CRA will take care of you. Don't worry, and you can always go back to your CRA account and check your benefits. So yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, thank you and have a nice evening.